So around this time every year, I always look up like what is coming up next year for design trends, and this is just something I've done for many years, just to kind of see where the design world is, and making sure I have my finger on the pulse and seeing what's working and what's not working. So I actually went and watched a few videos, and I just noticed three that all stayed the same throughout. Of course, as designers and creatives, like we all have different fields, and so things can be different from branding to what's an editorial to even the food industry, things like that. So these were the three that I saw that were pretty much the same across many different designers and the different fields that we're all in. Number one on the list is motion. So let's start with motion. All right, so motion design, and this is actually something that I've seen is getting more interactions too on like social media, things like that. When it comes to design, adding motion to your logos, adding motion to your still, even if it's like something like you see here, where it's like moving for you, things like that. Here you can see with Tiffany and Company, like if they're adding motion into their ads, and then even if it's just really slow motion, and the jewelry, just making it move somehow. And then logo animation too, like introducing your logo with animations and getting kind of people to look at it a little bit more. So motion design, animation, this has been around for a little bit. It helps your brand even more. So add a little bit of motion on your still designs. I know we are, so I'm excited to add a little bit of motion, more motion to what we do as well. Number two on the list is hand-drawn or patterns. I've been seeing this really, a lot of brands are creating more like patterns in their design and having this like hand-drawn element, which is giving it more of an authentic feel and not so cold. This was just a random design that I looked up, and like they're a cosmetic, and you can see like they've got like some, and you can see like even the movements, like very organic design in their patterns. And then here is another design that has patterns in it and kind of gives it more of that hand-drawn feeling with like the flowers and the birds here. So this is something that is part of brand development, and it helps it come together to make it more authentic and just relatable to people. So here are a few examples of that. Number three is a retro design. A retro design seems to be popular. That kind of, I feel, comes in and out. I mean, you even see that with like football gear, you know, how they'll change their uniforms to go like back in the day. And I like this trend when it comes in and out, but just being very careful with that. I mean, there are like, I chose this design to look over because this is a very like kind of retro type of design, but they did it very beautifully that it can be like classic and used for a very long time. But like if you're a brand that's been running for a really long time and you actually have like a retro design, kind of like Pepsi here, like they brought back their retro design. What this does is it shows a history with people. It kind of reminds people like we've been around for a long time. I love how they did this because it's just showing that, hey, we've been here and we have a history with you, and then bringing back the retro design. So I think that that's really cool how Pepsi did this. But just going back to, you know, when you're starting off as a brand, I mean, sometimes, you know, the retro style is just your style. And there are beautiful ways that you can do it and it stay, classic. But just, I know that sometimes we get really excited about trends, especially as designers and brand owners, and we're just like, oh, this is really cute. Everybody's doing it. Let's do it too. But just being careful with that, because to me, what's most important is just staying true to yourself. And that's why I chose the ones that I chose, just because with the motion design, that is something that will put more eyes on you for your brand, making sure you're adding more motion to your post and things like that, because that's going to help you grow. And then with the hand-drawn, that is showing a more authentic side and storytelling. And so that's why I felt like those two are very important to share, because I believe those are going to help you grow as a brand. And then with the retro design, that was just more of a fun one, because I know for me, I appreciate retro and I love when we kind of do like old school stuff and bring that back, because it's very nostalgic and sometimes a lot of fun, going down memory lane. But just with the retro design, just being very careful not to take it too far. But yeah, so those were my top 3 2025 trends, and I hope those help you for this next coming quarter. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and leave a comment of let me know what trend do you think is really going to take off this year in 2025, even if it wasn't one that I had shared. There's a few other ones that I kind of liked, but yeah, let's see what you think.